So we'll be kicking it a bit more old school this time. And by that I mean we're going to be looking at the Contra-like Steel Assault by Zenovia Interactive. Oh, and if you're wondering why things sound different right now, it's because I'm staying at my brother's place for a bit, and the acoustics are off. Things should be back to normal by the time the following video's up. Now that we got the housekeeping bits out of the way, let's get the show on the road. We start off with old school introduction exposition. The basic setup is as such. You play as Taro Takahashi, a member of the Daybreak Resistance fighting against the armies of roboticist and inventor-turned-fascist military dictator Magnus Pierce in the ruins of post-apocalyptic America. You go to the supply depot where his army is resupplying, and oh no, you've been shot down. It's rampage time! And that's basically all you need to know. It's paper thin, and it's used primarily as an excuse to go through and just strike fools and kill robots, and that's perfectly fine. Now that I think about it, the recurring motif I've seen with the games I've covered on this channel is basically light on narrative, big on gameplay. That's more of a me thing, but still, if I had a nickel for every time I've made a video covering a game that was lighter on the narrative side, I'd have 5 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it's happened 5 times. Back to the subject at hand. Steel Assault is, as I've previously mentioned, a side-scrolling action game. The game starts with a simple but pretty great tutorial walking you through all the relevant mechanics to make you the best resistance fighter you can be. You learn about the standards of movement and attacking, as well as the slide mechanic that renders you immune to all damage thanks to the absurd amount of invincibility frames on it. There's also the unique platforming mechanic of the zipline. With the hit of the B button, Taro's Gauntlet will shoot out a zipline that can connect to 2 surfaces. It can also be fired in all 8 directions, and it is pivotal to some of the more hectic platforming sections that Steel Assault throws at you. And then there's the mechanic where your attacks can destroy enemy bullets. Unless they're flashing, in which case they no-sell your attacks and you are a sad, sad boy. These combined with some of the game's sub-weapons gives you all the tools you need to end the threat of Pierce's army. Oh, and you can also punch guys if you're close enough to them to refuel your sub-weapons, which lets them last longer and thus continue the whipping and punching with the rampage, as you often tend to do. Taking place over the course of 5 chapters, you take Taro on a non-stop cavalcade of running, jumping, whipping, and punching through General Pierce's man-machine armada. And in the grand scheme of things, this is pretty dang short now that I think about it. It only took me like a combined total of 3 hours in order to get through the entire thing, which admittedly is not that long, but in a year and era where everyone is just trying to get you to play their game forever, that's kind of a godsend, especially at 20 bucks. However, what this game lacks in the length department, it more than makes up for in the difficulty and replayability departments. Steel Assault is fucking hard. Like steel. Let's see what I did there. I'm clever. This is entirely what I mean when I say the game is like Contra, however, this is where the similarities end for the most part. There's an array of 4 selectable difficulties ranging from very easy to easy, then normal, then finally expert. They all have different placements of items and enemies and different health levels. Hell, they even change up boss patterns based on what I've seen, and it's a great way that they've managed to scale the gameplay to the difficulty that you're playing on, and it's a nice little piece of accessibility to go along with the challenge. There's even the much touted arcade mode, where you play through the entire game in one sitting on expert, and death means that you have to restart the entire thing from the beginning. It's not for the faint of heart, I should know, I've tried it, I've gotten my ass kicked, and decided to stick to lower difficulties when recording this footage. I've mentioned the replayability, so I might as well talk about it. I think I've played through Steel Assault fully about 3 times now? Yeah, that sounds about right. The first time was to actually play it, the second time was for a refresher because I basically put it down in the middle of the month, and the third was because I needed to record footage and ended up playing through it all the way again. That's how I can tell that this is a good version of this type of game. You can't stop playing it. It's great. You wanna know what else is great? The aesthetic. It is straight up chunky pixel art goodness. You're seeing it in this footage right now. Also, the music's banging. At the end of the day, would I recommend Steel Assault? Absolutely. However, it's a recommendation I have with some major caveats. If you're not into side-scrolling action games, and if you don't like paying 20 bucks for a game that lasts 3 hours, you're probably not going to get much out of it. But if you are the kind of person who's into that sort of thing and likes replaying games over and over again, You're gonna find a lot to like here. I'm just saying. And that's going to be it for this month's video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, and don't forget to comment if you like, to let me know like what you thought of it. Leave some constructive criticisms if you liked it or not. Also, if you really like it, don't forget to share it with all your friends, family, your babushka, all that stuff. Also, quick announcement, I'm going to be increasing video production to like 2 videos a month to eventually 4 videos a month, because that's going to be my goal for the end of 2022. It's going to be a lot of work, but it's a new challenge, and I'm super looking forward to it. Thank you again for watching. Have a wonderful day. Love you.